Hey everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's start opening prayer. And then off we go into day 2 of our cortisol detox. Oh, Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my father, my mother, Atanaha, all there is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We thank you that our suffering is ended and our pain is lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen. Namaste. Okay, so yesterday we discussed what cortisol is, how to detox it from a collective consciousness perspective, an individual consciousness perspective, and we did some clearing. Today we're going to talk about our nervous system and how we can recreate it. I'm not going to say rewire, not just because I want to be different, but because I want to speak to accuracy. I really believe that the unconscious mind is listening when we speak, and it does not need just to be rewired. It often needs to be recreated, particularly if it's been programmed to only be in fight, flight, freeze versus rest, repair, renew for a long time. So, day 1, we basically talked about why your body is stuck in stress, and today we're teaching about how to come home. This is where the detox becomes embodied because you can't think your way into safety. You can't meditate your way into safety if your body still thinks it's being chased. You have to repattern the system that holds the trauma. And that means meeting your nervous system where it actually is, not where your mind wants it to be. So, the 3 core survival states. The nervous system has 3 primary settings: fight and flight, feeling anxious, angry, hypervigilant, controlling. You grip, you overwork, you overthink, you pick arguments, you criticize, you are really hard on yourself. 2, freeze. You feel numb, disconnected, unmotivated, like your heart's here, but your soul isn't. This is where you please. This is where you go through the motions. This is where you say, I'm fine, when you're not fine. This is where you feel dissociated, disconnected, or numb. This is where you feel like really far away or disconnected or misunderstood. This is where you feel lonely. Okay. And then state 3, which is safe and regulated. You feel present, soft, alive, open to receiving, and this is where the miracles happen. Cortisol rises in fight, flight, and in freeze, states 1 and 2, and softens in state 3. This is part of what we discuss when we talk about in Course in Miracles, that there is no neutral, right? There is no kind of loving. You're either in a state of fear or you're in a state of love. Your nervous system is either in a state of safety, what I call like a green color when I scan it, or it's in a state of fight, flight, freeze. I call it fawn, which is like the pleasing responses. Illness is actually part of the freeze responses. And you can't do both. There is no way of doing both at the same time. You're either in love or you're in fear. And the only thing you get to do when you realize that you're in fear or your nervous system is in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn is to choose again. And you don't choose again by intellectually deciding. You have to choose again by shifting your energetic and emotional state. And that's part of what we do in Medical Intuitive Mastermind. Is I teach you how to work on the core hologram, on the core memories that are anchored in your very soul, in God's heart, that are creating the illusion of fear inside your nervous system, because your nervous system is literally just a projector of light. God literally shines light down through your soul shines light down through your chakras pass that light through your nervous system. But those memories that are held inside your nervous system become like filters on a projector. And when those memories, those holograms, are full of fear, either at the level of the soul or at the level of the chakras or even at the level of the body, all those fears start to become this giant kaleidoscope patterned into the very light that you're trying to create your body with. And then that is what creates the disease and the fragmentation. And I like the word kaleidoscope because it's still beautiful, but you can see the fragmentation and all the little broken aspects working together. Ooh, Julia's saying, hello, hi gorgeous. Can grounding sheets be helpful for balancing? Absolutely. People often have very powerful reactions to grounding sheets on the bed, and even to just sitting in grounding mats whilst they're doing their work. I've seen people have full body shakes, full body healing crisis. Often the parts of their body where there's profound inflammation will start to like buzz. And I've seen people also have like the first pain-free night's sleep in years just from grounding and removing all the excess energy from the body and from the nervous system, because your nervous system is not just disrupted by the holograms that you carry from within and from our memories, it's also disrupted by our environment. So if there's a lot of electrochemical energy, if there's a lot of environmental toxins like mold, viruses, a lot of these have a neuron or nervous system blockers inside them. And people don't even know that their nervous system is being blocked. A lot of chemicals from shampoos and perfumes like parabens, etc., are nervous system blockers. So they're not just affecting your endocrine system, which is what people go on about with estrogen and those chemicals causing cancer. They're affecting your nervous system and your nervous system's ability to speak to your endocrine system and to relay information. And that literally affects how you create your body, because the light frequencies coming from your nervous system is what's telling your DNA how to move. It's what's telling it how to put together your cells. It's what's telling it how to put together your whole body from the inside out. So those frequencies not being disrupted is a big deal. So I would absolutely recommend grounding sheets. I would absolutely recommend I can't see where mine is gone, but tower blockers and things like that will soften the waves, the light waves around you. It's a very powerful thing. Jenny saying, hi Sky, is it possible to receive a reading around my money blockage and receiving divine support and abundance in general? Thank you so much. Well, thank you for raising that, because since we're talking nervous systems and cortisol level today, and there's so much hype around this in money. So your nervous system basically calibrates your physical set point for your ability to receive, right? It's not about your ability to hold money at all. It's your ability to receive your good. And Louise Hay talks about this a lot, and I love, love, love Louise Hay. But your capacity to receive wealth and keep wealth is based on your nervous system's capacity to feel safe receiving. And you can test it. You can actually muscle test it. And you can also tap in by thinking about, how do you feel in your body when someone gives you a compliment? If somebody says you're beautiful or you're abundant or you're amazing, how do you feel? Do you cringe? Do you get that ick factor? Or do you feel pleasure and joy? And do you light up and go, thank you? Right? Because it's directly showing you how your nervous system is calibrated to receiving. Do you blush if somebody gives you a gift? Right? What is your energy around receiving? I had one of my clients a couple of days ago say that their partner had paid for this cruise, and they were all of a fluster because energetically it was like, well, then I have to be intimate, right? If they've paid for everything, I have to be intimate. What are the conditions you place on receiving? If you receive from somebody, do you have to be intimate with them? If you receive from somebody, how much do you have to give of time, energy, particularly for women, where we've been taught that we're the emotional regulators, that we're the financial regulators, that we are the cleaners, the cooks, the servants, basically, that we're the help. Where is it that you feel like this wobble energetically when it comes to receiving? Because when I'm scanning you, receiving divine support is definitely about trust. And like the words I'm hearing when I'm tuning you is that people can't be trusted. So the reality is that there are untrustworthy people in the world, but there are also millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of trustworthy people in the world. So it's not that people cannot be trusted. It's that certain people are not trustworthy, and that you get to know who those people are. And you don't have to, it's not a drama, it's not a song and dance, it's just an intuitive knowledge and understanding. There we go. Can we release the belief on all 7 levels that people aren't trustworthy? And can we replace it with, I know which people to trust and which people not to trust? There we go. And can we also show you that you don't have to give people chances over and over and over again when they've shown you you're not trustworthy. And it doesn't matter if they're a blood relative or not. Some of you are given chances to family members, hint, hint, that you should not be giving chances to. Trust is about having achieved a certain level of integrity. And if you haven't achieved it, you haven't achieved it. No amount of you begging somebody or giving somebody opportunities gives them that level of skill. Integrity is a skill and it requires a certain level of emotional and spiritual strength to hold. You have to be able to say no. You have to be able to show up. You have to be able to do things you don't necessarily like to do. There we go. It's not personal. It's just acceptance. There we go, of where somebody is. Oh, and then another thing that your angels are showing me is like you're covering up people's lack of trustworthiness or their lack of effort, like their bare minimum energy. So can we release the shock and trauma of having to cover that up as a child in your family and having to ignore that? There we go. And then we're going to ask the abundance angels and come in into a healing on increasing your not just your nervous system's capacity, but your capacity to be connected to that divine frequency field of abundance and to allow God to support you and to allow God to hold you and to allow God to provide for you unconditionally. Unconditional support, unconditional provision, unconditional love, unconditional receiving. There we go. And so it is. Hi, Lucy. She's saying, I love your teaching. Love from Theta, Indonesia. Beautiful. Hi from very sunny Scotland. Okay. Just scanning to see how I can help the most. Sarah saying, hi, Sky. Can I have a scan on my health? I'm having flu symptoms, throat inflammation, and tiredness. I feel it's time for a big change work-wise, and I don't know the best timing to do it, so I feel stuck. Thank you. Ooh, okay. So what I'm seeing when I'm scanning you is like the angels are saying that when you want to let go, you love the place that you're in. So you're afraid that if you send loving energy to the place that you're in, that you're going to get stuck there. And the angels are saying that it's like, for example, if you want to sell your car, you start blessing the car and saying, thank you for being such a good car, right? It's the same thing for the job. So they want you to start sending unconditional love to your job and saying, thank you. Thank you for giving me all that provision. Thank you for taking care of me. And so, like, and thank you that something even better is on its way. Right? Thank you that my income is constantly increasing. Thank you that my opportunities are becoming better and better. Thank you that I'm able to transition to a new job with ease. So that's how to allow that shift to happen and stay in a state of peace in your nervous system. Both the subconscious mind and the nervous system love repetition. That's why they respond so well to exercise. That's why they respond so well to mantras. That's why they respond so well to trance, because it's repetition, right? And repetition is soothing. It's like the rocking motion of the Divine Mother to the soul. It's how we're able to embody, right? So can we um, literally remove, like just let the angels cut the cords to you trying to control how it's going to happen or how quickly it happens, and let's put God in control. And so it is. Okay. Julia saying, can we please download my body with a feeling of safety? How to protect myself from critical family members. So deep inside us, right? You know that you're one with all that is. Anything that's being mirrored to you in the outside world is a reflection of what you're doing to yourself on the inside. So if your family is criticizing you in the outside world, it means that inside you're criticizing and being really harsh on yourself. When you are not criticizing and being really harsh on yourself, even when people criticize you in the external world, it doesn't get to you because it's not yours, right? You know it's about them. Your response kind of becomes, are you okay? Versus, um, stop criticizing me. So let's just start by sending your family unconditional love. And can we release the need to criticize ourselves as a way to learn? Can we release I criticize myself and I'm hard on myself on all 7 levels and replace it with I love myself and I accept myself on all 7 levels. I have creator's perspective, definition, understanding of self-acceptance and of acceptance of others. I allow that knowledge to download into my family's field so that we can experience acceptance and love of each other. Okay. Adina's saying, hello, beautiful sky. If you have time, can I please have a scan on my health? I just got over a head cold, which lasted 3 weeks, and now I ended up with a UTI. Thank you so much. So, my love, this is like where illness is protection. Colds are self-worth, right? Low self-worth. And then a UTI is anger, particularly at men. So, both are caused by being in a relationship where somebody is putting you down or tearing you down or being close to very critical and controlling men, whether it's in a work environment or in a family environment. So let's release the shock and trauma of that. There we go. And I'm going to ask for an instant healing on your nervous system. And so it is. Rena saying, hi, Sky. I had a fall today in a shop and I've been going to the toilet every 30 minutes. Is this my nervous system? Not sure why this happened. Can you scan me, please? Rena, this is not your nervous system, but I would repair your aura and I would do a psychic energy clear. Let's just get Archangel Michael in to do that for you. And it's to do with you being really hard on yourself because of losing the job. And it's just let in some entities and not nice energies. There we go. Okay. Okay. Last one. Hi, Sky. May I please have a scan on feeling safe to hold energy of money? Many ideas, slow action, energy all over. So this is about self-belief. They're taking me straight to your heart. There's a line from the Course in Miracles. There's no problem that faith cannot solve. And faith is not just about believing in self, it's about believing in God. So can we send unconditional love to the inner child that stopped believing in themselves? And that stopped believing in God? Because God is provision, God is abundance. So ideas are safe because there's no failure in ideas. Action is where you're wobbling because you're afraid of rejection and you're afraid that you're not going to succeed. So let's download you with it's safe for me to succeed, and I'm allowed to keep going even if something fails. That failure is a part of learning. And so it is. Okay. Irina saying, "Oh, I would not have picked up on that. Thank you." Yeah, this is part of why it's so important to be in a high vibrational energy, because whenever you're in lower frequencies, it just attracts people, situation that you just don't want and don't need, and also like accidents or things going wrong. If you're in that energy of things are going wrong, or I'm exhausted or I'm tired, then more things go wrong. And it's faith is not optional, guys. Faith is what you focus on. You don't have a choice. Just like you don't have a choice about manifesting, you don't have a choice about faith. It's always working. You're either believing in your good or you're believing in your bad. So really focus on what it is that you're choosing to believe, because it also creates feelings. And those feelings reprogram your nervous system, and those feelings create frequency, and that's the frequency you're emitting out, and that's what's returning to you, right? Jenny's saying, I just wonder, as I'm healing parasites in my lungs now, is there a strong relation between cortisol, freeze mode, and parasites in the body? It feels like there's a strong relationship there. Right. So parasites in the body are a reflection of allowing parasitic people into your life and having been raised with people who are energetic parasites. So whenever you're physically clearing parasites, it literally means you're energetically clearing energetic parasites and entities, and you're also energetically clearing people who are sucking or draining your energy dry. So, of course, there's a correlation between stress and toxic people. It's probably one of the strongest correlations is between toxic relationships and mental health, toxic relationships and physical health. And it's not always obvious. A lot of toxicity in relationships is passive aggressive, or it's hidden, because friends or whatever don't want you to know that they're jealous, or don't want you to know that they're angry at you, because they don't want to damage the relationship. But the energy, or the energy drain, is still there. So pay attention to how you feel after hanging out with people. Do you feel energized or do you feel drained? Are they blessing you, or are they taking from you? It's very important to focus that. There we go. And it's also really important to plug people into God, so they're taking the energy from God instead of taking their energy from you. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Okay, Sherry's saying, hi, Sky. I've been dealing with nervousness about life and relationships since my heart numbed. From the effects of abuse on myself and my child years ago. I've been working on my healing since. So dissociation is a form of protection for when we're going through the abuse, but it's in what you wrote. I numbed my heart years ago. So it's a decision. I would literally invite your angels in and imagine them starting to pour like boiling hot water over the ice that's been created in your heart. Because if you can't feel your pain, then you can't feel your joy. You can't block one emotion without blocking all emotions. They all come from the solar plexus, they all come from your soul. And you are more than strong enough to process these feelings without collapsing, without having, without losing yourself. And they'll alchemize you into the level of strength that's beyond your imagination. Like, you think that they're going to drag you down and pull you back. They're going to show you how strong you really are. They're going to show you what you've really overcome. And so it is. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Okay, so Sharon saying, can I please have a healing on my nervous system and to bring more peace to my sleep? Thank you so much. So they're showing me phones and devices and watching things before you sleep, and they're really asking you to switch to doing like a journal dump. They're really showing me like an hour before bed, they want you to switch everything off. They want you to grab your journal and they want you to just dump everything from your day out into the journal. Because what's happening is you're using devices or Netflix, etc., to self-soothe, or you're scrolling on your phone, and then that stuff is what's going into your head while you sleep, and it's not letting you go into deep delta or theta. You're using it to numb the worry. So let's just release all the parts of you that are scared that you don't have the courage or the strength. Ooh. Just face your problems in life, right? Not facing not solving the problems that are in front of you has a price, right? Avoidance drains you just as much as facing the problem. Yes, solving problems is stressful, but so is avoiding problems. So you may as well solve them. There we go. And so it is. Okay, guys, so you know that we're doing medical intuitive in September, and that's literally where you become trained as a certified medical intuitive, and you learn to do what I do, the body scanning, the deep healings, the readings. It's incredible. There are so many people already DMing and signing up. This round is going to be insane. There's going to be new things that I'm adding this round, including AIs and frequency codes for healing specific diseases on top of what we've already got inside this program. So I'm super excited about that. And we're also doing Seven Figure Psychic. That is ongoing. It's a membership. You can join monthly or you can join for the whole year, where I'm really empowering you guys to step into your full power and impact as a spiritual healer and teacher. It's an incredible group. It's an incredible group. And I'm so proud of how quickly we're quantum jumping and how quickly we're transforming and the beautiful things that we're bringing in. We're also in the middle of our angel healing program. We've just finished doing the seven heavens and the Kabbalah and all the different attunements for those, and we're about to start on the archangels. There's still time to join us. If you're interested in any of those, you can drop me a DM or you can drop us an email or pop onto the website. We'll drop the links inside the comments as well. I'm going to do another couple of readings as well. Garu says, hey Skylar, I hope you're doing good. I have an Uterica allergy. Can you please help me with what to do? I need to heal myself and get rid of. So allergies are like taking offense. It's interesting. There's been a lot of energy around criticism in the nervous system today. And it's an energy of like looking at who like really offended you, who like kind of shocked you with like their cruelty or their words when you were around this substance or close to this substance. There we go. Can we just remove the psychic attack of being offended and of getting offended by people who are supposed to love us? I'm going to ask for an instant healing on your immune system as well as your nervous system. Okay, and I'm going to close here for today. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond.